We begin tonight with Bill O'Reilly, host of the No Spin News, author of the coming book, Confronting Evil. Mr. O'Reilly, always good to see you. Thank you, sir. Just back to what Hegseth said, real quickly. The White House already confirmed these messages are authentic. And my dad taught me something pretty simple when I grew up. When you screw up, say you're wrong, say you're sorry, say you're going to learn from it, and then you move on. Why is that so hard?
I don't know. I'm not his therapist. Clearly, if you listen to what he said, he's parsing the words. The Secretary of Defense is parsing the words because he's angry. When people make mistakes, this is germane to me. When I make a mistake, I get really angry at myself. And I just go, oh. And this is a mistake. It was a mistake made by someone in the group to allow a weasel like Jeffrey Goldberg to listen to anything. Goldberg is a Trump hater. He made up that story in Europe that Trump called the people killed in World War I and II suckers.
Liars and cowards, or yeah, suckers.
I think the program, yeah. You got Bolton on. Bolton was there and said didn't happen. So Goldberg's the worst. And to make a mistake that benefits him has got to be just burning everybody in the Trump administration. But the most important thing is to correct the mistake. And I'm kind of amazed that this actually happened. I don't know anything about this, the apps or anything like that, but I do a lot of private conversations.
Yeah.
And I do them on hardwired phones, landlines, so that if you tape it or listen in, you're charged with a felony. All right? I don't know why high-ranking members of any administration would be fooling around with this kind of high-tech stuff. I think that is a huge mistake. Do I think this is a big story? Yes, but it's not a defining story. Trump didn't know anything about it.
It's not a defining story unless it's the cover-up, right? It's never the thing that happens, especially when it's low-level people or even high-level people. Well, Hegseth right now is saying that there was not war plans. Hegseth's saying there's not war plans. Jeffrey Goldberg, and I know you think he's a weasel. Why that's germane, I don't think so. He said there are no war plans. This is what Goldberg says he has texts of. Take a listen.
No, it's not.
This is going to happen. Then that is going to happen. After that happens, this happens. Then that happens. And then we go and find out if it worked. I mean, you know, he can say that it wasn't a war plan, but it was a minute-by-minute accounting of what was about to happen.
The Post contained operational details of forthcoming strikes on Yemen, including information about targets, weapons the U.S. would be deploying and attacking. Okay, he didn't do this he didn't get asked to be on this. He didn't ask to be on this chain. They put him there. Okay. Who he is not germane to this conversation.
Can I get into this conversation, Leland, or do you just want to keep going? What Hegseth said was war plans were not texted. That's what he said. And that's probably true. All right? They were discussed. Nobody knew that Jeffrey Goldberg was on the thread. So that's number one. Let's be very precise in our language here. All right? So this is a colossal mistake. But there's no cover-up because the National Security Agency already put out that it's legitimate. To the Trump administration's credit, it got the analysis fast and put it out. So that destroys, number one, that Hegseth is saying there wasn't any war plan. Clearly was. Hegseth says it wasn't texted. As a reporter, you've got to be very precise here. Now, when I was analyzing on your program President Trump's selections for cabinet members, I pointed out that Hegseth was inexperienced. Do you remember that?
Well,
Leland, do you remember that?
I just answered well. I do remember that.
Okay.
I agreed with you.
Good. Because that's what this is all about. The people in that meeting, none of them have any national security experience. None of them.
And whose fault is that?
So, I said that when you fill positions at this level, it is not wise to put on newbies, novices. All right? And this is now coming back. However, going forward, the main story is, can you correct this? And the answer is yes. Now, I understand Hegseth's anger. To get back to my opening remark, he is beyond embarrassed and beyond livid. I'm sure Trump is dressing him down. I am positive that is happening. And the other guys, including the vice president, are all going to have to be spoken to by the professionals in the national security area. This cannot happen again. Are you with me? It cannot.
No, I am with you here, but
again.
the issue of whether it happens again is whether or not you think about what the problem is. Is the problem these guys were freelancing and playing fast and loose and texting things around on Signal? Now, yes, you can parse words very carefully from Pete Hegseth. This guy's the Secretary of Defense, okay? He should be able to say, hey, I made a mistake. It's very simple to say that. You don't need to sit there and go, were the war plans texted or discussed or on and on and on, okay? Come on, we're all adults here. The issue, though, isn't that they got caught because Goldberg was on the chain. The issue is that they were doing it in the first place, okay? Hillary Clinton had her email server to get around having classified information and discussing it the way you're supposed to. These guys had Signal. Went back and looked. Here's how you described Hillary Clinton and her email server. Take a listen.
The FBI's criticism of Hillary Clinton is withering. You would think Americans would want to elect a person with a record of competency, would you not? The negligence thing bothers me. It bothers me. Even if there were no intent to subvert federal law, the subversion happened. And Secretary Clinton is directly responsible for that.
Is Pete Hegseth directly responsible?
Absolutely. And he should apologize and acknowledge the mistake and say, we're going to fix it right now. There's no question that that should happen. But there's another difference between Hillary Clinton, and I don't expect you guys to use the whole clip. Hillary Clinton did this on purpose on her server, all right? She washed the server because she didn't want to get caught. This mistake, these guys didn't know that Jeffrey Goldberg was on the thread, the last person on
Right,
Earth.
but Hillary Clinton had the server. These guys had Signal for the exact same reasons. You may not know the apps. I do.
Right,
the reason all these campaign guys...
This was made on Fox News today by Jessica Tarloff made the exact point you just are trying to make and are going to fail, that it's akin to Hillary Clinton. No. Hillary Clinton did something illegal, tried to destroy evidence. She knew what the process was. These guys, talking about the Houthis, did not know that that conversation had been infiltrated. They should have known. That's the mistake. But there's a big
I think we're talking about two different things. I don't see it that way.
No,
yes, destroying evidence is wrong.
Right,
that's a separate thing. But hold on. Having the email server in the first place was wrong. Hillary Clinton having the email server in the first place was wrong. Agreed?
I don't know if it was wrong, but she tried to wash the stuff when she got caught.
Having classified information is illegal outside to have your own email server to get around government records
what did she
rules
do?
Is wrong.
And what did she do? She
wiped it.
Destroyed.
So that was two crimes. That was two wrong things. We're just talking about
this
one.
This is an active mistake rather than a passive mistake that these guys made. Look, if you hate Trump, then you're going to put the worst spin on it. If you like Trump, then you're going to say no big deal. My job is to tell the audience on NewsNation exactly what happened, and I'm going to recap it very quickly, okay? Number one, these guys did not prepare enough for this discussion. They were not responsible enough to protect the country. It's obvious, okay? They did not know that this weasel Goldberg was going to be on the thread. Somebody allowed him in, and that should be investigated. We should know exactly who did that. All right, they're pointing to walls now, but let's, have due process.
Let's wait.
And three,
yep.
as you pointed out, they should admit the mistake and say it'll never happen again. Right?
Fair enough. Okay. You're here. I'm agreeing with you. Bill, it's always good to talk. Thank you. Excellent analysis. This is developing in real time. More on it tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.